An NFT is a non-fungible token, and what that really means is a provable digital asset. So think of the Mona Lisa painting, right? It's an asset that's on a wall that you can go and look at, but there's also a million copies of it that are out there on mugs and prints and whatever. The difference with an NFT is it's digitally provable to be the real original, and you can own that one. So there might be a lots of different versions of an NFT, the same picture over and over and over, but there's the original one that's digitally provable, and you can own that one.
Next up, Dorian Banks, CEO of Looking Glass Labs Limited. Dorian, welcome.
Morning, thank you very much.
Hey, Dorian, can you give us a quick overview? What's the business of Looking Glass Labs?
Yeah, Looking Glass Labs is an NFT Metaverse company that has its first major acquisition of House of Kiba, which develops 3D assets for NFT sales and the Metaverse.
Amazing. So NFTs are a mystery to anybody beyond a certain generation. So as if you're talking to a small child, as Jeremy Irons said in Margin Call, explain NFTs to the uninitiated.
An NFT is a non-fungible token, and what that really means is a provable digital asset. So think of the Mona Lisa painting, right? It's an asset that's on a wall that you can go and look at, but there's also a million copies of it that are out there on mugs and prints and whatever. The difference with an NFT is it's digitally provable to be the real original, and you can own that one. So there might be a lots of different versions of an NFT, the same picture over and over and over, but there's the original one that's digitally provable, and you can own that one.
I see. So an NFT is always a representation of a physical thing.
It currently is. There's now a transition or an addition, I would say, for the NFT to also have a utility. So it might allow you access to a VIP portion of a concert. It might allow you to go dine at a restaurant on a special night.
Right. Okay, so I want to create an NFT that gives users access to my my investment choices and why I'm doing it, which is above and beyond and behind the scenes of me doing my interviews with movers and shakers in emerging industries. How would I go about that?
So you would create some type of digital piece of art or pass, so to say. It might even look like a credit card, for instance, and you would sell that to your followers for X amount of dollars. And if they held that in their blockchain wallet, they might get access to your back-end Discord system or private tweets, or maybe they might even get a one-on-one chat with you once a month, for instance, depending on which level of membership they bought from you.
Right. Okay, so we've seen in the NFT world, I saw a story about a kid who accidentally became a millionaire, according to the story, because he took 1,000 selfies of himself at his computer desk and his friends put it up as an NFT. So there's a perception that it's like a phenomenon that anybody can get into with zero skill, zero value, and somehow get rich. So what is the reality there?
That did happen, but what I will say, like any fast booming new sector, no matter what it is, there's always that period where there's a frenzy and there is a mass adoption rate and there's a cash grab portion as well. I think we're just passing that right now, and now we're moving into more real NFTs that people want to own, real art, and also NFTs with real utility or real future use. So I think we've moved past that anybody can do it phase, or we're about to, and make a bunch of money. Now anybody can do it, but if they do it well, they can make money.
Sure. Okay, so then what constitutes a quality NFT relative to a non-quality NFT?
The easiest way would be that is it a known artist? Is the person putting out a piece of art and they're a known person who's got a bunch of other work out, for instance? So they have a reputation. So you follow them and you buy their piece of art. Or it might be somebody like a DJ, for instance, a famous DJ who sells you an NFT. And as long as you hold that NFT in your wallet, you always get access to the VIP backstage of their concert globally. So that has a real utility for that fan, right?
Okay, so the NFT is characterized by a limited edition. There's only so many to go around. And the utility and or value of the underlying art piece is something that has value independent of the NFT.
Yeah, it can, or it can be even both. There's also NFTs where if you hold this NFT and this NFT, every month you'll get a third NFT from them. So there's an ongoing value to them.
Huh, that's fascinating. Okay, so recently you released or were participant in an NFT called the Genzero NFT drop. You sold 10,000 units in 37 minutes, raked in $6.2 million. What is the Genzero NFT and how did that happen?
Yeah, it's 10,000 digital representation of these 3D robots, which you can use as a representation of yourself in a future Metaverse, including our Metaverse. And we sold, as you said, in under 40 minutes, $6.2 million worth of them to our kind of fan base, our followers. And they hold one or more of those in their wallets for futures in the Metaverse. By holding them, you'll also get some future benefits from us, almost like a small utility as well.
Very interesting. So then, to what extent is the marketing component of an NFT contingent, or is the NFT success contingent on a healthy marketing program?
It's huge. 6 months ago, it didn't matter as much, but now, if you don't have a fan base or following or a good marketing plan for now and the future, the NFT sale might fail or sputter out. But also even secondary market of your NFT might not do well. So that's like the resale of your NFT, which you make a percentage on as the original artist. And you really see that with celebrity NFTs right now. If a celebrity just comes in and they appear to be just doing a cash grab, I'm going to drop this, you guys give me a bunch of money, I'm going to walk away, that will fail now. They basically need to backstop that and show a future with them.
Okay, so then as a emerging novel asset class, what can you compare NFTs to that exist today?
I mean, the easiest comparison is pieces of art. That's how NFTs really started, as a digital artwork. And it comes down to, people say, oh, but I can just copy and paste that digital image. And I always say, okay, well, go back to that Mona Lisa example. What do you want to own? If I gave you the option, do you want to own the Mona Lisa that's hanging on the wall in France? Or do you want to own one of the 1 million copies if I give you the option? Of course, you don't want to own the original one. Of course, obviously. And just like with an NFT that's provable on the blockchain, you're going to want to own that digitally provable asset.
I see. Okay, so now in terms of the investing public, how do they get involved in the NFT market? How do they buy NFTs? What do they need to do?
You would go to a digital marketplace such as OpenSea, LooksRare, or Wax, for instance. Those are 3 different digital marketplaces. And you would use either cryptocurrency or your credit card to buy an NFT on one of those marketplaces.
Oh, okay. So it's like an Amazon.com, for example, but focused on works of art or creativity.
Yeah, you could also go to, for instance, one of Dapper Labs' marketplaces. That would be for the NBA or the NFL or UFC, and you could go there and buy a digital trading card. So instead of it being a piece of cardboard like 10, 20, 30, 50 years ago, it's an actual digital version of that, which maybe is 3D rendered, maybe it's an animation, maybe it shows you the exact play as far as NBA or NFL goes, and you would use your credit card to buy that moment, they call it, that NFT moment, for anywhere between $10,000 and $250,000, for instance.
Wow, that's incredible. So what about the threat of regulation from the likes of, say, the SEC? Is there a risk to people in the NFT marketplace that regulation might be imposed on them at some point that might cause a devaluation of their assets?
There's always a risk of regulation. I'm not sure that we'll see any strong regulation over the NFT market, because it is essentially just a collectible, like a baseball card, for instance, or a Pokemon card. Where you might start to see regulation, or where I anticipate seeing regulation, is if the seller of that NFT somehow suggests that it's a security. That's where you're going to see a problem, right? If you say want to deliver interest or a payment, a regular payment, and so someone's bought that NFT in anticipation of getting future financial gain that you've told them is guaranteed or could be close to guaranteed, then you're going to see regulation.
Right. Okay, so that's very clear now. So the differentiation is, as a representation of art, it's very much a case of, well, you don't go out to you don't go buying art from street people necessarily and expect to have it recognized as significant and important artwork, except unless in the case you're Basquiat and you actually are important and just undiscovered. But that's really cool. So then is the NFT phenomenon, I mean, as we were saying, talking before the interview, there are some bad players in the space, as any emerging new phenomenon attracts a level of bad actors. To what extent is that a threat in the NFT ecosystem now, and to what extent do you think that that constitutes a valid reason for some regulation from somebody?
Yeah, we've had some bad actors for sure, and what they've done is they've basically rolled in, talked a big hype game around an NFT drop, raked in several $1 million or more from the community, from the NFT buying community, and then they've basically vaporized. And we call that a rug pull. Where they come in and said, we're going to do all this. This is our future roadmap. This is the marketing plan. And all of a sudden, they're just gone with the cash. The community, it's a very small percentage of all the NFT sales, and the community is rallying around and trying to prevent that now, trying to weed the bad actors out. And we're having some success with that right now. I don't believe that's what's going to force regulation on the NFT world. I believe it's going to be, again, back to saying something security, right? If you go and say, I'm going to build this nightclub, and by you owning the NFT, you're going to own a fraction of that nightclub, an actual fraction of it, right? Well, that's a security, right? And I think that's where you're going to see the regulation.
I see. Wow. Fascinating stuff. Okay, Dorian, well, we're going to leave it there for now. It's really interesting. I hope to have you back on the show in due course, and we'll hear how things are going. Appreciate your time today.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye for now.